Hey, what's up guys? Chris here, back with another tea talk. I think this will be my 22nd tea talk in whatever the 2 or 3 years that I've been doing it. So that's pretty cool. So today I wanted to talk to you about my trip to London, which I took in the beginning of May of this year of 2025. And I visited a couple tea houses while I was over there. So my mom took a transatlantic cruise, and I met her over there at the end. So I had about a day to myself before she arrived. So I visited Postcard Teas in London, which is near Oxford Circus, which is sort of like their Madison Avenue. There was a bunch of department stores. There was, luxury brands, stuff like that. So I compared it to Madison Avenue in Manhattan. But Postcard Teas was off on a side street, on this very quiet side street. And it was a pretty cool shop. I walked in, the guy greeted me. He asked, what kind of teas I liked. And I said, I'm mostly a Japanese tea drinker, but I like Chinese tea and, other types of tea as well. So he kind of pointed me in the right direction, gave me some suggestions for green tea, for black tea. They also have some flavored tea for people that like that. And they also have some Chinese tea as well, some oolong and some red tea as well. So overall, it was a pretty cool experience. The owner fell in love with Japanese tea a long time ago, and his wife is Japanese, so I think they kind of lean towards Japanese tea in general, but they also have other employees that specialize in other types of tea, like Chinese tea and Indian tea. And I picked up quite a lot of tea there, but one of them was this supernatural black tea from Kumamoto, down in the south of Japan on the island of Kyushu. So Kumamoto produces, some tea, but it's mostly green tea, particularly roasted tea, kama iricha, so pan-fired roasted tea. And of course they produce black tea as well, but for the most part it's kind of sencha and kama iricha down there. But yeah, this is from a guy named Matsumoto-san, and apparently his farm is 100% organic. Like, they don't use any fertilizer, they don't use any pesticides or anything like that. And it's his grandfather's trees, so they're about 90 years old. So that's all the information I could find about this guy. But yeah, I've had it a couple times and I enjoy it, so let's start brewing it. And Kumamoto is a pretty cool area outside of the tea world. It's where, if you are into martial arts, you definitely know who Miyamoto Musashi is. So Miyamoto Musashi lived down there. He served under the Hosokawa clan, and became a retainer to them in about 1640-ish, and then kind of lived out his days down in Kumamoto Castle. And it's also where he wrote the famous Book of Five Rings, his kind of treatise on martial arts and kenjutsu, and on life as well. So in the Book of Five Rings, it breaks down his philosophy on fighting, on life, and on martial arts. And he wrote that in a cave called Reigando, which is in Kumamoto City, or what is Kumamoto City now. And Miyamoto Musashi was kind of a special guy. He developed this fighting style called Niten Ichiru, so two heavens, one style, that uses both swords of the samurai, so the short sword, the wakizashi, and the long sword, the katana. And he used both of them to fight, and he developed a fighting style revolving around using both swords. This was a rare thing. You know, traditionally, samurai only used the long sword to fight, and they used it with both hands. But Miyamoto was a special guy, and he did his own thing. That was a theme throughout his life, is that he was an individual, a unique individual. But also this Niten Ichiru, this two sword technique, has also translated into modern day kendo, in which some kendo practitioners use both swords. So they use a short sword, like little shinai, and the longer regular shinai in order to fight. This doesn't mean that they come from Niten Ichiru in particular. You know, kendo is kind of its own separate thing outside of kenjutsu, which is the traditional martial art of swordsmanship. But the idea of using two swords has transferred over into the martial art and sport of kendo in that manner. So let's try the tea. Let's see. Yeah, so you get this kind of charcoaly, also coffee, tobacco-y like flavor that is characteristic of a Japanese black tea, but it's also very aromatic. So I think when we were talking about the tea in the tea shop, when I bought it, they were talking about how it is kind of a blend of both Darjeeling tea, which is a type of Indian tea that is usually kind of lighter, and Assam or Ceylon tea, like so other parts of Indian tea, and also Sri Lankan tea that are more known to be more full-bodied and kind of astringent. So it's a good blend of both of those flavors without kind of being from those areas. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tea talk. Oh, I also picked up some magazines while I was at Postcard Tea. I got this tea magazine, which is, I believe, a German magazine, although written in English. I think I have another issue, which my friend Joey Tea Time, brought me back from his trip to Europe last year, and I picked up this in May and also brought him one. And then this went along with it, this matcha magazine. So they not only sell tea at Postcard Teas, they sell tea magazines and tea literature. So they have that tea magazine. They have 80 Degrees, which is another magazine focusing on tea. So yeah, if you are in the London area, please go and check them out. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tea talk. Hopefully let's do some more soon. Take care.